Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are now joined by Miss Lillian Williams. She's owner of the Green Mountain Medium. She is the Green Mountain Medium, I should say. And if you go to the website, greenmountainmediumllc.com, you can find out more information about her. But clearly she's here to talk about spirit, her connection, and how she can guide you through spirit for yourself, for your loved ones, and so much more. Welcome back today, hon. How are you?
Thank you. I'm amazing, Jill. I hope you're well. You're stressed. I can definitely feel it.
I'm on the mends. I'm on the mends. It's been 3 weeks of a bad cold. But I went to the doctor. It's not COVID again, they said, and they did some tests. Maybe it's the flu, maybe. So we'll wait to see what it says. But they put me on a different antibiotic. So I'm starting to lose my congestion, but it's been it's hard when you can't hear and you feel out of whack. So I'm slowly getting better, but thank you.
So I can feel your head pressure, actually. Yeah. It's all right here.
It is. So that's why you'll see me with these still, but thank you.
So that's kind of one of the things that I feel it's important to lead with today. There's a lot of things I actually do want to cover today, so I'm going to try to not take 30 minutes. So I know we've been talking a little bit on the side with that, and that's kind of the thing with like Western medicine, I think, because because it's good to an extent, but sometimes like the problem is like less based on, let's say, a medical reason, because there's our energy systems. We have a lot of chakras actually, but we have 7 main chakras, which are our energy systems. And what can happen if we're not taking care of ourselves and our energies? And I think this is part of your big problem. And this is the thing with like my healing with spirit, because it's like kind of like based on Eastern medicine and but I heal through spirit. And from what I've read, like there's a lot of things like what I think your symptoms are very tied to like your throat chakra, your third eye chakra. I think you need to ground more, and you're just very, very overwhelmed. And I think so because like you're not taking care of yourself. Our spiritual body, so we have different bodies. We have our physical body and we have our ethereal body, which is our spirit body. And when we're not taking care of ourselves, like our spirit body is obviously going to be affected, and it's tied to our emotional body too. So if we're not taking care of each and every aspect as a whole, our physical vessel can be very affected by it. And what society looks at today commonly in Western medicine is just the physical aspects. They're not looking, and I don't mean to, because but yes, and there are good things to what, but right now I'm thinking it has more to do with you and your energy systems, because I know you have a lot going on and what you do, like a lot of it's definitely tied to your throat chakra. So what that means is you're not speaking clear. I know for your job.
Yeah.
So your job, and I don't mean to, because I know it's blocks your throat chakra in a sense, because you have to say things that don't necessarily align with your whole 100% truth all the time. You can correct me if I'm wrong, totally correct me if I'm wrong, but like sometimes you get it, and I feel like it gets a little and I'm not calling you, I just feel like this is something you can balance, because like I used to do the same exact thing, and this is how like I know I can help you, and this is why I was guided here, as crazy as, because I'm actually guided to help you. You're like no, don't, and I'm like, well, obviously I'm gonna help you. I'm talking to you every week. Sweet. It's kind of hard, like I'm the real deal. It's hard not to like
to care about people that, thank you, I appreciate it.
And it's just like I see, so it's like I got that intuitive hit, and I was like, Spirit, can I wait till Monday? And I tried to write it, and they were like, no, you gotta tell her now. No. They were like, no, you gotta go tell her now. And I'm like, okay, I'll text her now.
Thank you. But it's funny, I find this is always a problem. I hold a lot of my stress in my throat. I talk too much for work, let alone I've had vocal cord surgery, polyps on my nodules. So the overusage of this instrument. Right? Oh, no, only recently I started to. I never really had headaches, but recently, yeah, because I've been so congested. But yeah, the throat's always been an issue. You
So
can hear
your
my
third eyes get so your sure. Have you ever had a Reiki session?
yes, I have because of my stomach issues. But I've done maybe 2 or 3 of them with someone, and honestly,
Did
didn't
they just focus on the stomach though?
well, they did the whole body, but noticed that the stomach was the point of the pendulum going the opposite way.
So that would be your and I feel like your solar plexus chakra is also very off too.
hmm
Um, no,
But again, I
you
never continue more sessions because of my schedule and I'm busy and I'm this and I make excuses. But yeah, so I don't take care of myself as often as I should. And a lot of us don't. And I know that's a big issue.
and it's hard and it is hard like working and because like we're as humans we are not and especially as women we are not designed to go. Like the whole point of the feminine energy is to be able to sit back and receive. And when we're and it's so hard and especially this is where it was like kind of that point with I'm not sitting up straight, but for me,
Neither am I.
well, it's hard because like spirit kind of consumes me, so it's like but it's like you can't it's like the disalign with the shot you can't expect to have like be a health physically healthy if you're not emotionally healthy if you're doing but as the female this is what where we were going with like with the women it's so hard to like for us to sit back and receive because especially like it really started to get skewed like I guess like what was it in the 60s I'm not great with like history but like the 60s where like women really started
Became.
to go to they became the man and the woman
hmm
and it's okay to do both it's okay because like especially for me like I am very much in my masculine energy and I don't mean that but like a big part of what I do it is solely based on the feminine energy and being able to receive and being able to sit back and listen to spirit and listen to myself and listen but when you're so and especially for like people like you have to speak about things you don't always want to speak about or you don't feel 100% aligned with and
hmm
that's not always great for you
Healthy.
but
hmm
like you literally have a tear in your throat chakra
Wow. That's why I sound so raspy, I guess. Yeah.
and it like you're going at it from like the physical perspective of it but it's not so much the physical it's the matter of you sitting back and it's you really because you need to kind of sit back and start like looking at like stop looking so much from a source of outside validation because I feel like you do this a lot and you're very prone to it where like you sit and you like search for like the other people like strip it all back go offline for a little bit like I know that's so hard and but like just take a break like don't you always feel the need to do a million things and that's not good for your spirit and that's not good for your soul you need to rest and you need to be able to get into that receiving mode because if you're always giving how can you can't give from an empty space
Mhm. No, thank you. You are right. I'm always going, always, 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 and it's exhausting. But then I say, well, I have to do it. I don't have a choice, and I have it. Yeah, I know what
I
I
know
need, and I know it's a little difficult, but yeah, I know it's.
and
I go.
it's the constant especially with me like it's hard because it's like it is a constant struggle like owning a business trying to like take care of myself spiritually trying to keep up it's hard and it's like but if I can do it other people can do it
hmm
and that's what you can and it's kind of like you just have to be willing to take care of yourself
Yep.
because at the end of the day like you can take all the medications in the world but what are they doing
hmm
you know what I
Just.
mean
hmm
it's not like you have to go about it from the root
To the
cause
root, to the main core. Yep.
and then notice it start to shift.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. We need a lot of work on that for sure. I do.
Well, when I come up, we'll do Reiki too.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet. So I know you wanted to make sure you got a few things across for today. You mentioned when we started off, and of course we always just go. I love it. And
I
it
know.
takes you to different places. But what in particular were you looking at for today for us?
So today, like, I don't know, like, you really had to tiptoe around this, but like, so, and it's gonna get emotional. I know it's gonna get emotional. I don't know. Are people allowed to call in?
Yeah, of course.
So there's been like this little boy. He's been with me for a couple weeks, more like probably 3 or 4, and
Mm-hmm.
he's probably like 3, and he's been very just, it feels like he had cancer, and it feels like there's also something to do with a car accident, which is very confusing. And just try to stay with me because these are like the downloads I've been getting, and like I'm trying to piece it together. But like the reason I'm saying this is because like I'm hoping, because like he's saying please help my mom, and it's just hard because like I feel like she's in a very bad, and I feel like and it's like I can't do anything, and like I can't do anything for him until like he feels like a little, like he say like his name feels like it starts with a T, like Thomas, Timothy, something like that. Doesn't have to be, it could be a middle name, it could be something to do with like a street, but there's like something to do with a T in there. And
Okay.
there's something to do with cancer, and it feels like his mother, it's single mother, very, very, very distraught and not doing well at all, and he's very, very worried.
Wow.
And he needs me to find her, and I don't really know what else to do other than just kind of say, because it feels like she's in a very bad place, and I'm just hoping I can kind of find her in time. Because she's not doing well at all.
So this is
Um,
this is a little boy
and
who's alive in the present and
no, no,
coming
no,
through,
no,
or
no.
he's passed
He's
and he
passed on.
passed with this. Okay, I
He's
wasn't
passed
okay.
on. And
Okay.
like I said, the thing that I'm confused about, because usually it's very clear.
Yeah.
So he's coming to me with like a bouquet of like dandelion flowers. And they're like not dead. They're still yellow. And he's saying like make a wish. So like I don't know if that's tied to like cancer or like make a wish, but he just keeps saying make a wish. But what's not prominent to me usually, like when people do that, like you get the dead dandelions. So like
Mhm.
I feel like that's a very symbolic like part. Like I don't know if like that's something he used to do when he was in the living, like give his mother like a bouquet of dandelion and say make a wish, or like if he actually, but and it feels like there's something to do with my head, so it could have been like head cancer, brain
Mhm.
cancer. But he's also saying something to do with like the blood, so but there's something to do with my brain and like slowed cognitive function. But he's been with me for the past 3 weeks. He's afraid of the dark, and there's not much I can do because he's not going to move on until like I find his mom. And I'm getting very, because like there's not much I can do, and this is the thing, like I've been known to like be friends. And like the thing about like yes, they're there, yes, but they passed, and like they can deal with it more or less. They can deal with being on the other side all by, but this is a little boy.
Yeah.
And like I know like this is like, and I know you have to be careful, like, but I know what I'm doing as a medium. Like this is a genuine little boy that is genuinely concerned about his mother, and it's like okay, but like I oftentimes, like even with your mom, I oftentimes interact with spirits before I even know people. Like I oftentimes know the spirits and the spirits I'm supposed to help, and I'm getting emotional because it's him. Like
Aw.
he is so concerned about his mom right now. Um, just in a very bad, and it's like I don't know what else to do, because so what I'm like, I can't help him move on until he's talked to his mom. And this is like, not that it gets to me, like this
Well,
is the part of like the most beautiful part of my job, but it's also one of the hardest parts when I have to sit here and I don't always know what to do right away, because it's like, yes, I can sit here, I can comfort him, but when he's coming to me, like, and he also has a little teddy bear. So like in a blue blanket. So like I don't know. Like to me, it's got almost like, and I've been working with the priest and the same, just because like I've had to get some sleep because I have really haven't slept that much like with him, because like he is so distraught.
Mm.
Like in his, like I can tell, like I don't know her, but I already have a connect. Like I need to help her, and I've just
And
been so hyper focused on that. Like, and it's like she's not eating, she's not sleeping. I feel like she's drinking. Like she's just going down a spiral, and she needs my help right now. And
you're
like her
trying to comfort
son
her,
need
obviously.
before I can get him to help him, like the way I can help him is for him to speak to his mom and for me to help his mom. And he's not going to move on. Like this is where it gets hard, because he's not going to move on until I get to help her. And then because I oftentimes encounter, like I said, I oftentimes encounter the spirits before, long before. And it's like, this is the hard part because, sorry, this is a
Okay.
hard part for me where it's like, I can't always, it gets emotionally overwhelming sometimes for me, where it's like all I can do in these is address it, face it, and let it go. Like I help people with like other mediumship about, because some of my, like a lot of healers have at least some level of mediumship abilities. It's just they don't always know what to do with it. And one of the most profound questions I've ever been asked in my entire, not only profession but life, is how do you deal with the infants, and how do you deal with the babies that you, like the aborted babies, the miscarriages, like the children. Like it's the hardest part of my job when I have to sit there and I have to speak for part of children, and I have to relay the messages to the parents, and I have to reassure them and tell them it's okay. But it's also the most beautiful part of my job, because I can help them in their grieving process, and I can help I can help both parties. And I can help the little baby, like I can help bring them, but they're not going to go into that angelic state, and then until I can help them relay that. And it's like the hardest questions I've ever been is, how do you deal with it? They were like, I've experienced I've saw my first part, and they're like, how do you, and I'm like, that is the thing. I'm 22 years old. I am so maternal, and it's like, that's the thing. All I can do is address it, emotionally grieve it, let it go, and do the best I can to help them. And mediumship, like being psychic, being like, it's a whole nother ball game. Like, yes, it's one thing to have psychic abilities, but with being a medium and being a full-blown psychic medium with every single psychic ability one can have, there's literally no opposite. And it's like, I'm here to help the little kids that are waiting to speak to their parents.
So now, will you end up connecting with this mom? I mean, is there a guarantee or
And I'm
not?
like,
Like, I mean,
there's never a guarantee. And
but
this is why I'm
normally,
saying this now,
so we
because
put
it's
it
like,
out there in
I
hopes
don't know what
that
else to do, because it's like, she
there's
needs my help. And that's the thing. Not everybody is
yeah.
willing to accept my help. And it's like, what do I do in those situations where it's like,
I couldn't find that in your Apple Music library.
Siri's going a little crazy.
See,
See,
it is
it's
Mercury
my, and
retrograde.
it's no, and that's the thing. Like every
No.
time I speak of, like the energy starts going crazy, and this is how I know I'm supposed to help. And
Yeah,
my
this
phone is
little
literally
boy.
silenced right now. My phone is literally silenced right
And
now.
twice it just went off, and then
I
Alexa.
don't know how to respond to that.
Yep, my phone was literally off.
Oh my gosh.
It was
The-
literally off, and I'm trying to turn it off.
Is it
and
this
won't let.
little? Is it the little boy
It's the
that's
little boy.
really needing your help
He
and
needs
hoping
to
that his
talk.
mom's out there? His mom is out there somewhere, hopefully listening
Yeah.
or
1, 2,
somehow
3 on the
connected
clock.
to all
Look, I'm
of
turning it
us.
off again. Power off. Hopefully it doesn't turn on again.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, my heart aches for
And
him.
it's like, but that's the thing. And it's like, all I can do, like in these, and it's like, that's the thing where it's like, for me being 22 and being like, my job, my life isn't normal. Like that's the thing about dating, is there are going to be times when I make plans and I'm not always up for something, because I'm getting hit with this stuff day in and day out. And oftentimes I can shut it off till it's time to talk, but I don't know what to do. And it's like it's like I love it. And it's like I wouldn't change it for the world, because
Right.
this is like my mission here on earth. It's to be that in between. Like that is literally my soul's purpose, to be that in between and to be that earth angel who can literally go in and help people transition. And it's like I can feel when people are getting suicidal. Like I may not always know them, but I can. And when I have a little boy saying, "You need to go help my mom," like this is the part where it's like all I can do is rely on my spiritual team and rely on the saints and rely on the angels and just be strong. And it's like going back to this is the thing, like in dating, like this is where I struggle, because it's like sometimes I struggle with it. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, because this is what makes me human. If I didn't get emotional, if I didn't feel, like the only way I know how to transmute this is to feel it, address it, and let it, because that's all I can guide other mediums to do, because we would not be human, because we deal with death every day. We literally live in between it. We assist both the living and the dead. There is no death, but the thing is, you see the loss on this side and you see it affecting people. And not the thing that's not, it was hard for me to understand, like that not everybody has the connection I do. And it's like, this is why I feel so called to share. This is why, and it's like, and going back to like, it's hard for me because sometimes it's hard for me to deal with. How can I sit here and expect somebody else to want to deal with this when I can,
Barely
like,
do, but
and it's like, especially like with me, because like I feel like if I allow somebody into I'm gonna feel them.
no.
Like I have to be guarded, because when I let somebody in, my heart is on my sleeve. Does that make, and it's like, I have so much going on with the business and just being a medium that it's like, unless you're willing to, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Like, not to
Yeah.
seem cold, but it's like, this is like, I need somebody that, like, I need somebody that's going to be able to sit here and be able to deal with me when I'm like this and I don't know what to do. Because there are going to be times when I seem emotionally unstable. I'm not. And it's going to seem like I'm yelling at nothing. Like, I'm not like this is what I deal with. It seems so out of this world, but it's not. It's the life that I live and I'm gifted, but it's like at the same time it gets very
you're
like,
gifted, but
because
you're also cursed. Not to say you're cursed, but like
no,
because
it
it's
is
like
that double-edged
it's a
sword,
burden.
because
It's
and it's like, and especially being, because like, and for the longest time I struggled with this, because for all I wanted to do was like be quote unquote normal.
normal. Yeah. And have a
And it's
normal
like,
life.
how do I sit here? Like, and that's the thing, like, I love myself and I am totally okay with being independent for forever. Like the rest of, I am totally, and I've made peace with that. But it's like, at the same time, I do want kids and I do want, and it's like, I have to be okay with being vulnerable with that. But at the same time, it's like, you have to stuff up and be a man. And at 22, it's like, I'm not getting that with the people that are my age. So it's
No.
like, and it's like, that's the thing with being, not everybody is going to understand what I go through.
No, it's
Not
going to take a
like
very special.
people, and like, that's the thing, people can try, but there are things with that come along, like mediumship is a whole nother beast in and of itself. And it's something that I don't, and that's the thing, like with being a medium and this is why not everybody's a medium. And this is the thing, like mediumship is something that can go very dark very fast, because there are things that are not good. There are energies that are not good, and there is energies out there that are not, it's earth. We are literally surrounded by darkness and not good things. And as a medium, you have to choose, and you have to choose the light, but you also have to be able to tap into that darkness and yield it. because, and you can't be afraid of anything, because the only place the devil can live is in your mind. The devil doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. Like, it does, but like, that's the thing. That's how it wins. That's how fear and the devil energies win, because we succumb to the mind.
Mhm.
If you have your mind, but that's the thing. Like, there is so much that comes with like being so spiritually you have to be on top all the, and I don't mean like on, but you have to be on top of your game, and you have to like, you have to be able to love yourself, be able to have that balance of just going and receiving. And it's like, not everybody is going to understand just the push and pull of trying to run a spiritual business and just being a medium, because like, especially when I'm starting to talk to more, it's like, I'm so deeply connected because I'm supposed to be building a network. And this is the thing, like, this is why, like, I need to get more consistent, like with my YouTube, but it's like, so because like when I'm opening myself up to that, it's like I'm getting, and it's like, I need to protect my energies, but I also need to put myself out there, but I need to do it. And it's like, I need to create when I feel that urge to create. I can't push myself to create because I need to step into that flow where it's like, okay, when spirit, like, because if I'm not resting, I'm not going to be able to get those downloads if I'm just doing.
Yeah.
If I'm just doing, how am I supposed to be able to sit back and enjoy the journey?
Oh,
Because I want to, because life is going to go by in a blink of an eye.
and it
I'm
does.
22.
Mhm. And soon you'll be up near me, 44, but it happens so darn quick. It
And
does.
you see, that's another synchronicity, 22, 44.
Ah. Can I just bring up something randomly? Did you hear about the story
Yeah.
about that 5-year-old boy that died just the other day in Morocco? He was in a well. Just randomly. I don't know if that could be this little boy. Was he trapped in a well? No?
Feels like a cancer.
Okay. Just curious. It hit me before when you said
This was
5-year-old.
this
I'm
from
like,
like suspicious activity.
no, if he was a few days ago, he was playing, he fell in a well and somewhere in Morocco and he was alive for a few days. They sent him down food, but they couldn't rescue him in time and he died. So I just
He
randomly,
drowned.
I don't know how, what, but yeah. So just when you said 5-year-old, I was just thinking, could it be just randomly? I was thinking, and I hope if someone's out there
Yeah,
listening that knows,
he feels very American. He feels very
gosh, to help that little boy out there, if anybody knows of any mom who's lost their son recently, had trauma of some sort, and mom clearly can't be doing well, please reach out.
She's also saying leukemia.
Okay.
I don't know.
Aw,
But I don't know if it has something to do with St. Jude's, because he keeps saying make a wish.
okay.
I don't know.
Well,
There's some,
hopefully there'll be some closure to that, and hopefully I would
because
love
it
to.
feels like she lost her husband too.
Oh my gosh. So she's really that devastated, and that's why he's
Yeah,
really
because like I said,
concerned.
she was a single mom, but like I think she was like a widowed
Oh
mom. When I
gosh.
say single, like
So someone like that would be really, really taking it hard at
exactly,
this point. Doesn't have any.
exactly.
Ah, well, my heart goes out to him and to you, and hopefully we can help find him. And there's, of course, we're out of time as
Are we?
always. Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. My
Sorry, I
gosh.
didn't mean to take the whole time talking.
Don't. No,
That-
I love it. I love it. I wish I had more time. If I didn't have another show right after, I'd keep you on longer, like we get to do sometimes. But unfortunately, we can't. Lillian, what should we leave with the listeners? Go ahead.
So if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can find me at greenmountainmediumllc.com. I have an Instagram. It's green_mountain_medium. And you can also find me on YouTube at Green Mountain Medium LLC. But we're working on that.
All right,
So
good, sweetheart. Well,
reach
thank
out,
you.
guys.
Love speaking to you. Love you. Thank you for being my friend. And
Yes, thank you for being my friend.
thank you. Seriously. Mwah. I can't do the heart because I have my hand on the thing. Hold on. There you go. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for everything. And you're a beautiful woman, and some man will
Thank
eventually
you.
figure that out and
Thank you.
appreciate it and will understand. That's right. When it's time to be,
I'd
when it's
rather die alone than settle. That's where I've
And on that note, we're going to end it. I'm going to agree with you. I'd rather die alone than settle. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.